Welcome to the next episode of Perspectives with Jeremiah Stephenson. And today I have a wonderful new friend on, Adam Darby. How you doing, Adam?
I'm pretty good, besides being hot as all get out outside.
I do not like how hot it is. I hate the summer.
Yeah.
Summer is one of my least favorite times of the year.
I love summer, and living in Atlanta, it's like you'd think you'd be like get used to like hot in the South and being like, oh man, yeah, it's hot. But like every year, it's like, oh man, I hate hot. It's like, yeah, it's coming. It's going to be there. It's like, I hate air.
I used to live in Brunswick, Georgia, so right next to St. Simon's Island.
Oh, gosh.
So, like, we had the beach, but I hate the beach. I don't hate it anymore. I just don't care for it.
Yeah.
And then it's just like hot and muggy and just disgusting. So, being up here, it's mostly just hot.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you're like, oh, here's that moist air that's, like, disgusting.
I feel like hating the heat is a betrayal of my childhood because, like, growing up, you love summer. It's like, summer, yeah. Dude, out of school.
I'm out for school. Yeah, let's do everything.
Now you get older, you're like, man, it's too hot. I ain't going anywhere.
Nice. Yeah. So, Darby, you are a DJ.
Yes.
You are a podcaster.
Yeah.
And what else do you do?
I work at a marketing firm. I'm a web developer.
Okay.
So we do web development. One of our major clients is Coke.
Nice.
And we just launched this, I don't know if you saw it or not, the Stranger Things Coke crossover, the new Coke.
I think I saw bits and pieces of it, but I did not see most of it.
We helped do that. So
nice.
It's fun to work on things to be like in the background. Like we had things for weeks we couldn't even say anything about it. We're like, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's cool. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a labor of love. Everything I do is like a labor of love. Like I love DJing. Mm-hmm. You know, I love everything I do, and it's like, yeah, it's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get into that in a second, but I'll start with my first question, as always, is who are you and what is your story?
Okay. Well, again, I'm Adam Darby.
Yeah.
So I grew up in North Carolina, Gastonia, like south of Charlotte.
Okay.
Small town. So it was small, way small then, smaller than now. It's like getting big. I go there and there's like ravers at the mall, and like, yeah, it's weird. It's weird seeing people like, you know, cool people in my hometown. But yeah, I grew up there and bounced back and forth between there and Virginia. So I lived in Roanoke, Virginia, then back to Gastonia, then to Virginia Beach, so on and so forth. So I was kind of destined to be a nerd because my dad's a chemist and my mom's a teacher.
What? That's cool.
I was raised watching The Twilight Zone and westerns.
Very nice.
So my dad's really into westerns and like sci-fi and stuff. So there was that, and then like, you know, I was just growing up as a kid, like, you know, doing your little kid stuff, and then like my cousin and my friend Scooter and my brothers, we were like the crew. Mm-hmm. And so Scooter was really into comics, and so we kind of, you know, I kind of got into him through him and through my cousin Chris. And then my brothers, like, you know, they're, you know, young, they're 6 years younger, so they're all like, oh, you can't play with us, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, eventually we were like, all right, we need more people, so they come. We had a good time. We were always, like, super imaginative growing up. We'd make up our own games. We made our own G.I. Joes.
Oh, very
We'd come
good.
over, we'd take ours apart, we'd put them together in different ways to paint them. People were like, what G.I. Joe is that? Like, oh, we made that one. You can't get that one over here.
This is a custom.
So, yeah, you know, growing up, I was always interested in computers and science and stuff like that. So, you know, I started programming. Actually, my dad and I wrote a video game. It was in a magazine. They had the instructions, but we coded it together.
Okay.
And that's back when you save stuff on cassette tapes to age myself. But, so, yeah, you know, that's kind of a pervasive influence in my life, just like nerd stuff and science and all that. And then went to school in Pittsburgh, Carnegie Mellon University, majored in technical writing. I started out in artificial intelligence, but it was way too much logic.
Really?
I didn't like logic classes. It was whatever. But so I did that. Graduated, found out technical writing is boring as hell. At least initially when you first get out, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've met some technical writers. None of them seem like, I love technical writing. Oh, I can't wait to write something technical. Like, no. So then, you know, I bummed around. I had always been interested in the web and stuff. And so my friend Dennis was working at CNN. And so he worked at CNN.com. And so like, yo, I'll show you what to do or give you kind of hints, whatever. And that's took off from there. You know?
Nice.
And then been doing that since. The DJ thing started when I was in college. My friend Chris was, he started DJing. Starchild was his DJ name. And so I started DJing in college. I was, so in college I was in the Asian Student Association.
Wait, how?
I was on the way, I was walking through the student center one day, and my friend, I think it was my friend Carl, was like, yo, Adam, come to this ASA meeting. I'm like, I'm not Asian. He's like, it's cool though, you're cool, like, whatever. So I was in ASA for like 3 years. I lived in the ASA house. We threw the bomb parties. Like anytime I found out ASA party going on, it's like, yo, people come. And I started DJing there with my friend Ben. So then when I got here, so I DJ'd there, and then I kind of fell off for a little bit. And then I got here, I moved to Atlanta. I started again and started playing like raves, started playing like drum and bass. And like, that was like, so I started doing that. And that's kind of where I was in the rave scene for about 10 years, 12 years of playing stuff there.
Oh, wow.
I've been going to raves for longer than that. And then, and then kind of one night I was over at MJQ. Mm-hmm. And I was outside and I was talking to my buddy Murphy, who's like the manager there, and he was like, I could play these songs. He was like, or bring some CDs next week.
Nice.
That's my best Murphy voice. Bring some CDs. I can't do a Murphy voice. Anyhow, so I brought, and then I started playing there, and I played in MJQ for like over a decade at least.
Okay. Maybe
like close to 15, but there were some years in between when I wasn't there.
Right.
But that was the thing. And then like from there, it's just kind of like spread out. You know, people hear you DJ one place, they're like, oh, blah, blah. It's there's nothing like it.
Was MJQ like your home base to DJ at?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was every Wednesday for like X amount of years. And then from there, like other stuff pop up. I'm at Joystick on the Fridays now. Mm-hmm. And then we do a 90s night over in East Atlanta.
Oh, nice.
Me and my friend Patrick. We started actually at Eastside Lounge, or Union now. But we started when it was Eastside Lounge. Did that for 4 years, I think. That ended, and then we picked it back up at Graveyard like years later. So we've been doing it for a long time.
Nice.
It's fun. Like there's nothing, like, you're playing, and it's like, even if the room is like empty, it's just like getting the songs, making them talk to each other, making them flow, and just like, it's a self-satisfaction. And then when people are there, it's like, man, I played last night. I was playing, I did this mix, and this dude in the crowd came and was like, yo, blah, blah, blah. I'm a DJ too. I'm like, oh man, here we go. He's going to be like, trying to get a gig. He's like, no, he was totally like, that mix you did just now was dope, blah, blah. And I was like, word, pound. Like, because most people out there dancing, you don't get the sense, unless they have like a musical background, you don't think that they have, they're out dancing. They don't listen. They don't know. And like,
they don't hear the transitions.
They don't hear the transitions. Yeah. They don't hear. But every once in a while, I was at the wedding, and listening to older lady, what's your transitions? I'm like, oh, all right.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
So it helps. It helps to get that reinforcement. It's just I love it.
Super cool.
Yeah.
What was your high school and college years like?
So high school, I went to high school, and I started out going to high school in North Carolina. So North Carolina high school was like, I was in the gifted program, and for me, at that time of in history, it was like straight up like black and white. Mm-hmm. Like there was like one Asian kid in my class in my school, and we went to the B-52s concert together. But so I was like very much, I was in the gifted program, and I was like a cool nerd. Mm-hmm. Like we would still get like invited to like to parties and stuff. Well, okay, we rewind. So high school started out in North Carolina, and once again, I was there, and then so I moved to Virginia Beach in 11th and 12th grade. And my friend, this dude Josh, who just moved to Gastonia from Virginia Beach, he was the first goth kid that I met.
Oh, really?
First goth kid I ever knew. Came in with the Depeche Mode shirt, and I was like, oh, I like Depeche Mode. He's like, oh man, cool, somebody I know is Depeche Mode. And then like a month later, I'm like, Josh, man, I'm moving. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, I moved to Virginia Beach. He's like, what? He was so mad. He was so upset. I wonder what he's doing now. But so that was I was pretty much like, kind of an outcast nerd, quiz bowl kind of guy, and then I moved to Virginia Beach, and it was like, wow, there's like tons of people. There's like tons of Filipino people, and like, and all kinds of like ethnicities and backgrounds and stuff. There's my high school in Virginia Beach was surfers and jocks.
Oh,
like,
nice.
It's really
fun.
weird. Yeah,
That
I was like, all
sounds
right,
fun.
cool. So then I fell in with a crew there of people, and then that's when we became like the cool nerds crew. Like, it's my buddy Tim, my buddy Rio, Roz, I can't name Kelly Vargas, Jonas. Like there's a bunch of us,
yeah.
And so we formed kind of like this like the Breakfast Club kind of like crew. But it was good. And also my mom taught at the school that I went to, so that kind of gave me a little. It was like I couldn't do anything bad. Get in trouble, but also was like, oh, you're Miss Darby's son, blah, blah, blah. And like, give me a little bit of credit. Like, yeah, man, my mom's cool. So, yeah, high school was like, I mean, we started playing, actually, I started playing role-playing games with my brothers and my cousin.
Okay.
We played the Marvel role-playing game, but we didn't really do the role-playing part. We just did the fights.
Okay,
so
nice.
we would make characters and just fight.
I've played D&D a few times, and I'm like, we're literally still standing in this bar talking to these elves for the last 4 hours. Can something please go down?
Right, yeah.
Please.
Yeah. So we when I went to Virginia Beach and with my friends, mainly with like Rio and Tim, we played like we played the Star Wars role playing game. We played all the Palladium role playing games. They have like the fantasy one. They have Rifts, which is amazing sci-fi role playing game. The Steve Jackson games, the GURPS, like generic universal role playing system, which is like you can put whatever you want on it. I played Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like role playing game, like all that. So that was like it. Like we do role playing. We drive around town listening to They Might Be Giants and Depeche Mode, and it was very like there's no rebellious part. Yeah, I was never like,
hey,
oh yeah, let's go.
We're enjoying life.
I didn't even drink until I turned like 21.
Okay.
Oh no, I did. I had one. I did an apple pie shot when I was like, it was like the year after freshman year.
Okay.
But
what was that like? Were you just like,
I was like, this tastes good, but I feel bad. I shouldn't be drinking it. So I was so like good. I was so good.
Yeah.
I was so good. So then I moved, and then I went to college in Pittsburgh, and that was when I feel like I really started to come into my own socially. Mm-hmm. I had my crew, when I was in high school in Virginia Beach, but then when I moved to Pittsburgh, like, that's when I really started to, like, it was basically just a chance to reinvent yourself.
Yeah,
absolutely. I always feel like the people who are mad cool in high school are, like, nothing in college. It's like, you can tell them, too. Because they get there, they're all like that, and it's like, nah, man.
No, like, there's nothing really special about
it. So I got to school, and then, like, the summer before my freshman year, I did this thing called CMAP, which is basically it's for like minority students and give you kind of like a leg up, before to get used to college life, whatever. And then that's where I met my friend Kurt, and Kurt's been like my best friend for like he's probably like one of my oldest friends that I'm not related to.
Gotcha.
If not the oldest friend, I think he is. So he kind of took me under his wing. He's from Pittsburgh, and so we played role playing games there too. And he showed me around Pittsburgh and stuff, and then I started college, and then it was just a whirlwind of like, I was in the humanities college, and so like took a lot of rhetoric and a lot of writing, a lot of English, a lot of things, and also I was one class away from minoring in Japanese.
Oh, really?
And now Japanese is so bad, like I can't even like I know I have a couple phrases I always say.
Yeah.
And
which are?
Yeah. 日本語わかります。3年から日本語の勉強してました。ほとんど全部忘れました。Which is I've forgotten like almost all of it. I was saying I took it for 3 years in school, but I've forgotten almost all of it. Okay. But I went to Tokyo like 4 years ago. No, yeah, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. My brother put together a GoFundMe and like sent me to Japan for my birthday.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. What was that experience like?
It was great. Oh man, like so he did that, and then my friend Kelly's mom works for Delta, so she hooked me up with like the buddy pass.
Dude.
So I got over there for cheaper, and then like my buddy Alan came with me. So get there, just like walking out at Narita Airport and like just walking through the hall, like I'm in Japan, yo.
Yeah.
And like there's all these banners hanging, like Suntory, and all of a sudden I was like, it didn't hit me. It didn't really hit me. And then I got into like the customs part and whatever. And then we got into the airport where we get where it really hit me when we got into the train platform to go to Shibuya where we stayed.
Okay.
And I'm like, there's vending machines with all kinds of crazy stuff in them. And there's a train, and you can hear, the voices on, they're calling out the stop, and it's like, this is Japanese. You get on the train, and you're all like
squished in. You're like,
oh man, like I can still hear the train station voice at Shibuya say Shibuya. Like we got there, And Alan got there before I did. He had checked into the Airbnb, and then we went straight and I went bowling right away.
Okay.
Sega, they had a Sega bowling.
What?
It was a Sega
Bro.
bowling alley. It
What?
was like, yeah, it was crazy. And then it was great, like a whirlwind. We just did everything. Did karaoke. We went to the Studio Ghibli Museum.
Oh, really?
That was like a pilgrimage. Like it was awesome. One funny thing, we were on our way to get the tickets to go, so you had to sign up for the service to get tickets. You had to go pick them up from a place. Well, we got the address wrong. We're in this little neighborhood in Japan, in like a suburb of Tokyo, and there's a door where we thought where the place we were supposed to get it, and it was like kind of open. We're like, all right, like kind of knocking, like go in. And we look, and it's somebody's house.
Oh,
like
whoa.
the door is just open, and somebody's upstairs working on the computer. We saw them, but they didn't see us.
Uh-huh.
And we're like, damn, this is crazy. You can just walk into somebody's house.
Yeah, that's crazy. What?
And, it was.
Did y'all talk to each other, or just stepped out?
No, we just stepped out. No,
Okay.
they didn't see us. They were like upstairs, and like I could see them like on the computer, and I was like, shit.
This is a house.
somebody's
This
house.
is someone's home. Please leave.
But yeah, Japan was great. Like we did everything from like we went clubbing.
Mm-hmm.
There was a club near our Airbnb called Gas Paddock. It's like a chain.
Okay.
And they had, like from the second night we were there, they were like we walked in like yo, they recognized us and stuff.
Awesome.
We did that. We went to a honky tonk bar.
Okay.
One of Alan's coworkers, cousin's brother or something like that was a keyboard player in this honky tonk band. So we walk in and there's this like 6'4", like tall, like white dude on keys, and then it's all like 70-year plus old Japanese dudes in like cowboy gear, like singing.
Whoa.
Like and then there's like old Japanese women line dancing.
What?
Yeah, and they pulled me in. They pulled me into the line dance. Like, all right, I started learning stuff. It was great. It was fun. And then after the band got done, they did karaoke. So they had a book of songs
sweet.
that they knew. So I got up there and I did On the Road again, you know.
I can't wait to be on.
And then after the bar shut down, we went to this izakaya, this late night like food joint, and like I was sitting there with this like old Japanese dude, like doing my broken Japanese, his broken English. We were like back and forth. Like we ordered sake, and he got this big cup of sake came to him, and they gave me one like a regular shot glass. I was like, "Oh, you have the sensei sake. I had the student sake." He was laughing,
Nice.
whatever.
That's hilarious.
It was dope, man.
How long were you there in Japan?
10 days.
10 days. Wow.
Yeah, it was. We went to this mall. They have like a Gundam outside, like a life size, like giant
Nice.
robot outside. And then the probably the wildest thing we did there is we went to this place called the Robot Restaurant. It's like you walk in and there's like a lobby where you wait, you know, for the show to start, and then these women come out in these like crazy like anime outfits and start singing. Like one woman was singing like the theme songs to Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Really?
And just like it's like a lounge act though. She's a piano and she's singing whatever. You know, get your drinks, and then you go down this passageway down underground, and you end up in this like kind of like center stage. Like there's like seats on either side, and in the middle there's like an open area, and you sit in your seats and you get like a bento box of lunch, and then the show starts, and it's like a freaking like Broadway production. Like
Really?
they have
Wow.
like variety acts. This woman came out on this giant like LED covered like metal horse, and she's like singing, and like there's all kinds of like just stories that they're telling. Like it's like acts and shows, and they did one that was pretty funny. It was pretty much about the invasion. Like you could tell it was like this peaceful little island was living, and they were, you know, peaceful, and then these invaders came, and they did these people, and it's basically like invasion of like of Japan or whatever.
Yeah.
Like the Americans came, whatever. It was great though, man. And there's an area there called the Golden Guy, and it's like basically it's like two or three like alleyways of like dive bars, but they are all themed. And so we wanted to go to the punk rock bar. I couldn't go in because it was crowded. I mean, there were 10 people there because they're all tiny.
Yeah.
So we ended up going. The woman at the punk rock was like, "Oh, there's a rock and roll bar across the street, across the alleyway." So we go in there. We climb up these 45-degree like steps. Or, like,
God.
climbing. Walk in. The dude behind the bar is wearing an Atlanta Falcons jersey. We're like, "Yo, we're
What?
from Atlanta." He's like, "Atlanta, what?"
Oh my gosh.
He's watching an Eagles documentary. The band, not
Not the
football
football
yeah.
team, but the band.
So and then we're just sitting there drinking, and like, and everywhere you went, you just made friends. You know,
Nice.
We were at that bar. This dude next to us, like, he's a rapper, and I forgot this. So he's a rapper. I'm like, yo, blah blah blah. my boy Scott that lives in Japan. He's lived in Japan for like ever. He's like, he's Scott Popular. He's like just the dude.
Nice.
He's that dude. You got to know him when you go to Japan. Like Scott Popular's that dude. So Scott he actually throws like video game tournaments and stuff
nice.
there, and he got me hooked up to DJ at a bar in Shibuya. So I DJ'd at this hip hop night in Shibuya called Coins Bar, and it was the best. It was so good. Like I got up there and I was like, all right, hip hop bar. Like I was listening to what the guy was playing for me. He's playing like classic. I was like, all right, cool. I'll stick with like classic hip hop, which is great because it's what I love. And man, everybody knew every word. I was just playing. It was like surreal. It was so. And then like somehow like so I was there with Alan. I knew Scott. My buddy Ben's brother happened to be there because I think they lived there at that point. So he came out. My buddy Greg came out. My friend Thomas and his wife, who happened to be there on honeymoon. Because I was in Japan DJing a hip hop bar. Yeah, and like I knew 10 people out there.
That's
like,
awesome.
Oh, just like what? It was so.
That's awesome.
It was great. I did not want to leave. We were in the Airbnb, and like across the street from us there's this building, and there was like a little startup company. I could see into their office.
Okay.
I could tell there's some kind of. I could see their coding, and I was like,
ooh,
walk over there. Like, this could be my life. I could wake up. Like, oh yeah, time to go across the street. Go and get on and go out to Gas Panic.
So do you intend on going back to Japan at any point?
Yeah, I gotta go back.
Nice.
Like,
was that always a dream of yours?
Yeah.
When did that kind of created that dream, and how? So what did that look like?
Growing up, I was always into like my cousin again. Chris brought me into. We're all into like Asian culture. It started out, of course, everybody's watching kung fu movies and stuff, whatever. But then like I don't know, I just have a genuine interest in like in Asian culture, and then like I'd always watch like I was always into cartoons and stuff like love. And then I was watching Robotech and stuff. And then my brother Jason's friend, I think his name was Eric, gave him like the Dragon Ball Z, and that was like, oh, anime, like
what is this?
I was like, cling, So I was always just interested in it, and it was a thing that I knew it was like on my bucket list.
Nice.
And so we put that together, and it was just like, so it was just. I had to do it, and I did, and I had to go back. Like
that's awesome.
That's something. My girlfriend was actually born in Japan.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm like, all right. So you've been, I've been. Now the kids got to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
know?
So let's go ahead and jump to that.
Yeah.
You are a father now.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm very proud.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm proud, but like
no, it's
excited.
Cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is that experience like for you?
It's crazy. Everything that anybody tells you about it is both true and not at the same time.
Mm.
And my dad gave me some other people, they gave me like the best thing that I've heard about it is that like everybody is doing it for the first time. Like you're doing it for the first time. They did it for the first. It's their first time. When you have your first kid, it's great. She's amazing. So the hospital was terrifying.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a fever dream. Like I was like, by the time we got out, it was like, seeing her like my first sight of her was a bloody like body being carried across the room and put onto the scale, whatever, like screaming. I get over there. She's got the little cone head.
Oh.
That's the thing that nobody told me about. Babies have cone heads when they're born.
Yeah.
Just like I was like, oh my god, but you're so cute. And she's crying, and it's been great. Like she is like just waking up in the morning, and she's like. When you take her to the changing table is like her happy place.
Okay.
As soon as you set her in the changing table, she's like, when she started smiling like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and that was like
nice. You're like, oh
my dad told me too. He was like, when she started smiling, then you're like, oh, she hits you right in the heart. He's like, oh man, I almost passed out. I was like, oh my god, like, she's great, man, and it's like. This is a life. It took me a while to even be like, this is a life that I helped create. Like, this is part of my.
It's a little me.
My mom actually sent me a picture of myself when I was a baby, and I was just like her.
Really?
Yeah, which is wild because I'm like, I look like I'm Asian, and like was like, yeah. Everybody's like, why do you see all this Asian baby? Why take this Asian baby?
Is that your baby?
Yeah, right. But yeah, she's awesome. She's and we're like watching her like develop. It's like right there in your face, it's like, it's not like when you have friends like, oh man, last time I saw you, you were this big and blah blah. No, you see
it's like every second of the day.
Yeah, it's like every day, like she's like ahead of the curve for like she's gonna roll over on her back, or she can roll over from her front to her back. She's starting to vocalize now, which is she's not just like no, it's like and I'm like, okay, tell me more about the like, word
I get you. Keep spitting.
I start worrying. I swear I have this worry that I'll talk to her and I'm like, I'll have this made up language that I kind of adapted from like various like alien languages you hear, and like, or kind of like, even like I kind of actually, some of it I actually straight up said to her one time, like, which is what's his name from Star Wars,
what is that guy? I see his face.
Gnome.
Dude, which movie?
He's a guy with he looks like he's wearing, like he has a mustache. He's like a
he has like a giant eye.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I can't remember his name. Anyhow, I started to worry, like, man, I don't want her to grow up and start. And then, she's speaking this strange language. She's not, learning English.
She's speaking this weird.
So we started reading. We read to her like every night, and
What is your favorite book to read to her, or what's her favorite book?
Right now, well, we went through like Dr. Seuss books, couple Dr. Seuss books, and then we did. People gave us books, and so we read this. Here's a funny one it's called Ish, and it's like, this kid who was drawing, and he's trying to draw, and his older brother, I think, makes fun of his drawings. So he crumbles them up and he throws them away. And his little sister's like, no, don't throw it away. And she takes him to her room, and she has all his drawings that he's thrown away. And she kept them.
Wow.
And he's all like, it's like, but it doesn't even look like a dog. It's like, but it's dog-ish. And he's like, oh, yeah, I don't have to worry about it looking exactly. It's just, as long as it looks like, tree-ish or like whatever. And I'm reading this to her, and it's ish, whatever.
Yeah.
And in the middle of reading her this book that's called Ish, she just drops a load of her mom like died. We're like, all right, cool, Ish. It's some Ish. I can contribute some Ish right here. But right now I'm reading her this book called The Wind in the Willows. Yeah, I read it when I was young, and I guess I had a different memory of how advanced it is. It's not a kid's. It's not like a toddler book.
Okay.
If you read it when you're like, well, I don't know. I probably read it when I was like 10, maybe, but I don't know. Just the reading is
yes,
good for
it's
them.
absolutely.
Don't get too much into your head of like, is this appropriate? It's just like, are they gonna understand what you're saying? No, that's maybe for like later on, but like just them hearing it in the words, it helps. I'm not gonna read her Dostoevsky or anything like that, but it's cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the DJing.
Okay, yeah.
Like so you touched on how you got into it. What draws you to it? Is that has that become a passion of yours?
I mean, just music in general has always been a thing. Like my whole family, like growing up, we always had music on. I remember one of my earliest memories. I remember stomping around the house with my brothers, singing Buffalo Soldier.
Oh, nice.
When my parents had that on 8-track, we're like, it's like there's always music around. Like my dad had records and stuff. So yeah, that was always the thing. And I think so. When I was living in Virginia Beach, my cousin Mark, rest in peace, and my other cousins, Maurice, Mark, and Jody, I think they went to New York like one time and went to a club one time, and I heard them talking about the club, and I was like, oh, and in my mind, I thought they went all the time.
Gotcha.
The whole growing up, I was like Mark goes to the house like all the time. I was like, oh, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a natural progression for me to start DJing. It was like music's like in my blood, and so I love it because it's like you get to create, and there's no like limits on you. Like I said, I do my 90s night. I do joystick where I play like all over the place. I have a goth industrial night that I do, and
really?
that's like one of my that's probably one of my favorite like genres to do, and that's what what else do I listen to? Like people are like, oh, you heard the new, but like, no, I'm listening to Peter Murphy and like Depeche Mode, and like, if it's new and I'm listening to it, it's like new like Boy Harsher and like Drab Majesty, like that kind of like, I'm really like yeah, that's
specific
like my
kind of
favorite.
music?
But that being said, like, you know, like if I get a chance to throw down like a hip hop set, I love playing like old. My brothers and I have this. My brother Jeff and my brother Jason both have made like boom bap, like 90s hip hop playlists.
Okay.
You know, Crook.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like I'll put it on. Like I was in New York last fall for a college reunion, and I'm walking around New York with this 90s hip hop in my ear, and I'm like, "Yo, this is real New York." This is real New York. I love that stuff. You know, I love it. Even like new stuff that people like. You know, it's typical for like, you know, older people to be like, "Oh man, like that new hip hop, you know, like, you know, young thug and all stuff, or like, I can't. My mind is blanking. I'm like, play this stuff, or I play like the new stuff, and even when I'm playing stuff that I don't listen to on the radio or whatever, like I get into it. You know,
yeah.
I
never listen to the radio.
Yeah,
I always listen to like what's on my iPhone or my iPod or my Android, and like I just go through my list of music. So whenever someone's like, "Have you heard this thing?" and I'm like, "No," and they're like, "It's been out, it's hot." I'm like, "I don't know it," but I can get into it.
Yeah, but I can get into it.
Setting,
yeah,
like,
same.
Where I'm around.
I have this DJ, this like service that I subscribe to that gives me like 10 gigs of music like a month. And it's like this guy Benzie, he's a DJ, and he gets like exclusives and all this stuff. So
very nice.
That's how I keep up. He puts them in folders where it's like, this is, you know, hip hop, this is like R&B stuff, this is like trap, whatever. And so even if I haven't, a lot of times people are like, "Do you have this new thing?" And I'm like, "Let me look." I probably do. Well, yeah, I do have it. Yeah, you know,
nice.
That new trick. So, you know, I love that. And then like house music, like
that's a whole world
like
within itself.
That was so when I started DJing in Pittsburgh, you know, when I was going out to parties in Pittsburgh, that was like, you know, it was like early like rave and like house parties and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, I love dancing, and so that comes in, and like again, there's nothing like that. Like I think that mixing house music and that house tempo music is like probably like maybe the most satisfying, because you can do I'm a fan of like the long blends, like
gotcha.
You know, and the people, you know, you'll go out and you hear people DJ and it's like they'll play like half a song, like cut, whatever,
yeah,
you know, and I can do that, but I really get a lot of enjoyment out of like, you know, bringing in a song and the song, and so people and hearing people like, "Oh wait, I heard you're bringing in. I heard you're bringing in.
It's coming.
Yeah,
in.
it's coming in. You know, like
oh yeah."
Yeah, and they draw and you oh man, there's nothing like making making them like do that.
Is it like so I dabbled in it. I will not say I'm a DJ.
Okay.
I dabbled in it when I was a kid in high school. But like for you, is there like you're creating moments that are just what is that process to you? Is it almost like I don't want to say otherworldly, but like what does that look like? Give me a night on
like in my head.
Yeah, give me a night you behind the table.
So people ask like, do you come out? Do you like come out and like, what do you decide what you're gonna play beforehand? Like, I never, like, I don't even know. Like sometimes I take it back. Sometimes I will like oh, I'm gonna play some you know, some house. I have a bunch of new house stuff I'm gonna play.
Okay.
I listen to like BBC radio, so I get a lot of stuff from there.
Ooh, very nice.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting. Ooh.
And then sometimes I'll have a bunch of stuff, so I'm gonna play that, or then I'm in the mood. I want to play like 80s, you know, whatever. Which is again 80s. I love. Yeah, just music. I love playing 80s. Like I know. So like I'll go out and I'll like get behind. And if it's a night where I'm supposed to, like if I go to my goth night, which is tomorrow night or Sunday night, then like Sunday, then you know that's when I'll have a mindset of what I want to kind of play. But otherwise, like it's whatever mood strikes me, and then from there it's like people are like, oh man. So sometimes I'll have certain tracks that I'll put together that work well. Like I'll go from like, and I feel like. People who've heard me play before, I feel like people are like, well, here he goes again with that mix, but it works. I'll go from like The Way You Move, Outkast, into Lose Control by Missy Elliott, and it goes right in, you know. And then from there, you can go to Run DMC. It's Tricky, you know, whatever that be. It's like it's like kind of like a martial art. You have these little katas, you know. You have these like. Oh, and then she flows into Crean. Crean mixing into Outkast, mixed to, you know.
Like that whole. That's awesome. That's
so there's little snippets of that. But a lot of it is me freaking out, thinking, "What am I going to play next? Crap! What am I going to play next?" You know. But outside I'm calm, but inside I'm like, you know, So you know, for when I started playing, it was all vinyl.
Okay.
And, eventually I started using CDs, like probably like 10 or 11 years into when I was DJing. And now it's like digital, it's MP3s. And so it's cool because I show up to a gig, it's like, here's my records, it's here, whatever. But it also leads to, I think that it happens with people, it does happen with people in vinyl too, because it happened to me. You accumulate a lot of stuff that you don't ever play. And so when it comes time to play, you're like, where's it? And it's worse with MP3s because I have I have a 2 gig hard drive.
Yeah.
Like, how, and I keep myself in folders and organized and stuff, but still, it can be like, you can get to a point where it's like, crap, it's like too much to go through.
What software do you use?
I use software called Serato.
Okay.
It's Serato Pro, DJ Pro, whatever. So it's probably used by it when it first hit the market, and it has had like the major share of the market for as far as like those programs. But there's other ones that are like kind of like coming up, or that are like being used. Like a lot of DJs actually use this one called Record Box. Okay. Which is by Pioneer. And then a lot of people use Tractor, and then people do live PAs with all kinds of software like Ableton Live and all that. But I think that the Serato setup is like pretty ubiquitous, like the club DJs and stuff like that. Like you can pretty much guarantee that you'll see somebody they're using that or Tractor or whatever. But then again, like I don't go out to other clubs that much anymore. Yeah. Like I go out to see my friends play. But,
yeah. So.
But yeah, it's like just building like and. A good example of it is like weddings. Like I do like weddings, and like, you can't just bust out like, boom, let's play all the all the hot wedding jams like right out the bat. People need to build up because people need to get drunk enough to come out there and dance. So you gotta ease them in. I
was at a wedding recently, and that was one of the things where I was like, I need y'all to drink because I'm ready to dance, and like I can literally just jump out on the floor like right now. Yeah. But like watching them, the DJ was decent. But like he was playing some good music, and it's music that generally I would think everyone would just be like, "Oh, let's get on the floor." Yeah. But everybody else is just very much like, "I'm kind of cautious. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm ready to do this."
This is a big old open dance floor. It's not a dark club.
I know half these people. Yeah, right. I can't get too crunk. Right. So I'm like, but I don't know any of you all, so I'm gonna get lit. Yeah. Yeah. So
it's like, there's definitely, and even I guess even actually in the club there's actually the like, build up to like whatever, I will have people come up and, we just opened, I just started playing, like, can you play, the song, somebody came up last night, can you play, Old Town Road?
Yeah, I literally thought that's what you were going to say. I literally thought that's what you were about to say.
I'm like, okay, like, well, there's just one of you in here, and the sound is broadcast, and I know that the staff doesn't want to hear the song like 5 times. I'll play it later. Yeah. Like, people get this thing, they'll come in with their crew, and they're like, can you play the song? Yeah. Like, it's super popular. I'm like, yeah, but there's only 5 of you here right now, and I'll play it now. I'm not going to play it again later. Like,
when there's actually people that...
People get this thing, they'll come in, they'll like, play it now, and then they'll leave. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't know. You see a quarter slot in my mouth? Like, nah, man. Like, I take suggestions, not requests. That's why I always tell people, like, you take requests? I'm like, I take suggestions. And if I play it, that's cool. If I don't, then don't get butthurt, like it's fine. Like,
what is this is something that I'm young, fairly young, and I moved up here, and this is like, I'm in Atlanta now, so like, oh my God, clubs. This is crazy. I love to stand around sometimes. Yeah. You've seen me dancing. Yeah. Sometimes I do like to stand around and just watch the people kind of interact. And then what is the club atmosphere? Like, what is that? What is the club?
So...
I feel like there's a science behind it.
Yeah, like,
I mean, what is that?
It varies from club. Okay. And even like I'll go ahead and just use MJQ as an example because it's the one I'm most intimately familiar with. Like I've seen back in the day, MJQ is like worlds away from now. MJQ
really
like back in the day, MJQ, and MJQ still is it still is. We always will, and always will be like a place where anybody can go. People are always like, "Oh, is there dress code? What should I wear?" I'm like, "Whatever you want.
Whatever you want."
Just don't wear open-toed shoes if you're a dude, because Yeah. Anyhow,
stop it. Get some help.
But back in the day, MJQ was like, you go out there and it's like skater kids, punk kids, like breakers, like, you know, some prep kids, like whatever. And it's like this melange of like humanity, and you know, and it's like the interactions are cool because you see like this kid, you know, who's like got his like leather jacket and, you know, spikes and whatever, talking to this dude that's like, and they're like that, and they're like, you know, this guy's like, you know, straight up hip hop head, you know, he's whatever. And it's like the lines that were crossed and blurred back then were so great, you know, like people of all stripes there. Still is, but I feel like a lot of those people that were going then have grown up and had kids and stuff. Like, you know, so like,
I can't go out at 11.
So yeah.
And stay out until 3.
And this, I guess, like, you know, social media and then things like Spotify and then like just the progression of like culture has led to kind of like now, and I guess myself too, I guess my perception is now it's like I used to go out and see everybody I know, and now it's like when I was DJing there, it's like I don't even know any of these people. Like I know people that are working here, but I don't get any regulars. I don't get like, you know. But it's I don't know, the interaction between people at clubs. It's you get everything, you know, from like people who are there obviously just to dance, which has become I think a little bit more rare, but still kind of there. And then you get people who are I see being up in the booth, you see the dudes that are just looking at women, you know, out there to like try and score. You see the person that's there, you know, to get away. You see the person that's there. You know, to like, I don't know, just to look cool and to be like seen. There's definitely you see the people who are there to be seen. Yeah, you know.
One of the things I love about NJQ now is like it's one of the only places that I know of where you have just dancers from all just backgrounds of dance. Like you have your hip hop dancers, you have your. I want to say they're like classically trained dancers. There's like a group of girls that I know come in like every couple Wednesdays. Yeah. And they get down and dirty, like the hip hop. Oh, they do like just to see all these forms of dance. Yeah. And to the same music, but just see how it's interpreted differently. It's so awesome. And I love it. Yeah, that is so awesome. Great. Like, and just like, and nobody's gonna like, you know, you can go and be like yourself. You know? Yeah. I mean, like. As long as you're not like, you know, being an asshole, running into people or whatever, you know? But like, it's definitely like an escape from like, you know, everything. Yeah, you know. So podcast, you have your own podcast.
I have,
or have multiple. Do you have one?
I work with Nerdlanta. Podcast.
Okay, Nerdlanta, awesome. I have yet to listen to their stuff yet.
Oh, dude, it's so much fun.
I really need to. And you guys can go in and, like, you recorded the joystick, correct?
Yeah.
So, do people get to watch you guys record?
Yeah, awesome. It's so much fun.
Give me a rundown about that. Like,
so you get in, you know, they start off, and then it's like, you know, the regular presenters, you know, are there, and then we have guests that come on, and everything from, like, people from, like, the Georgia Ghostbusters Association to people, you know, someone who invented their own role-playing game and talk about that. They'll bring comedians in. Nice. We'll bring in, like, you know, my friends, the pre-gamers who they do like a video game. They do a bunch. They do like videos. They do the bulk of what they do right now is like they go to like Dragon Con or they go to a bunch of cons. And my friend Travis is a video. He takes video of people in their costumes. Yeah. And then they do like a music video of the con. But he'll add effects. So if you're playing, you're being, you know, Ryu Street Fighter, he'll do you and he'll have you do the comic. What do we call comic? The dragon. Yeah. Hadouken. Where's my head? Hadouken. Tired, you'll do it, and then in the video later on, he'll have like the ball of fire. Like, nice. It's, dude. Like I've watched them like grow in the things that they do, and it's just like. It's like one of those like proud of you. I know them. You know, I've been in some of the videos. I help them out. So, but they do that. They do like funny videos too. Y'all need to start doing more of those funny videos again, man. Those are my shit. Nice. We did one. It was like we do like drunk history of video games.
Oh what? Oh dude, that sounds amazing.
Look them up. It's so much fun. Oh my god, it's so awesome. But yeah, man. Like so. Why do we even get to that? How do we?
I don't know. We were talking about.
We're talking.
Podcast.
Yeah,
podcast.
So
Yes.
Nerd Atlanta podcast.
Nerd Atlanta.
It's great, and it's just fun to watch too. Like, it's kind of like this where we're doing right now, but there's like 4 or 5 people, and then there's an audience, and the audience will like start to say, "Whoa," whatever, you know.
Nice.
They do another thing that's called Love Nerds. Basically, it's like the dating game, but it's like all for nerds.
What?
And it's great. Like, you know, they'll come out and you'll get like, you know, nerdy guy or nerdy girl, and then they'll bring out like the contestants, and they like have to give them like interview questions, like, "What do you think is the best Avenger?" or whatever. Like,
oh, nice.
It's great, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun.
I need to make sure I get out there to that. I really do.
Yeah, you should. Yeah,
you told me about it multiple times. I'm like, I'm gonna make sure I do it.
Yeah,
but yeah, I need to make sure. That's awesome.
It's cool. They do a great job. Like, we do a great job. We do. I'm part of Nerd Atlanta.
I was saying, I feel like you.
I am part of Nerd Atlanta. Yes, it's in my resume. We were running the karaoke night for a while. That was the
really. What's one of your favorite out of all the things that you do? I don't even ask what's your favorite thing that you do. Out of all the things that you do and participate, what do you feel like gives voice of you, like your voice? What hears your voice more out of all the things that you do?
That's tough. Probably. I mean, they all do to a certain extent, but okay. So I run a nerd trivia night at Argosy twice a month, and that's one where I get to ask nerdy questions, but I also get to play music. I play music in between the songs.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, that is like kind of like I'm asking nerdy questions, and also I'm playing this music that you know is representing like me. Also, a lot of times it represents the questions too, but it's like... But
it's a lot of like stuff that have affected you as growing up within nerd culture.
Yeah, so I think maybe like that kind of stuff where I get to do multiple things, but DJing too though, because like last weekend I DJed a wedding. It was my friend Paige and Doug's wedding, and I knew there was nerds there. I was like, word. So I was able to DJ, but then I slipped in like the Sailor Moon theme.
Oh, what?
Played by Vitamin String Quartet, like classically, whatever.
Yeah.
And people turned their heads slowly. They're like, pointed at me. I was like, aha! Like I think I think though I'm gonna like I'll answer your question the sideways way.
Yeah, absolutely.
I gain enjoyment from bringing other people enjoyment when they don't think that they're gonna, the unexpected enjoyment.
Yes.
So when I played that Sailor Moon thing, people were like, what? Like, what? You know, and when I encounter someone who's Japanese and I like say like stuff to me, like, what? You know, like, I love when people like don't expect things and they're like, oh, you know that? Like, it's so great. And that's a big thing with like nerd culture. I think that I love is that people ask me like, should I dress up as? I want to dress up as this character. I don't know if anybody's gonna somebody's gonna know.
Somebody's gonna know.
Somebody will know.
I went to what was it? AWA in Atlanta.
I love AWA.
I went as Breath from Penny and Stocking with Garter Belt because that's one of my favorite shows. But like I had,
oh my god, I have my sentence. I love Penny and Stocking.
It's so great,
it's so good,
and even the soundtrack itself is phenomenal. It's so good.
Yeah.
But like I was kind of like I don't really know that many people are gonna be there. But I ran to like 2 Panties and Stockings. I'm still in contact with the girl that cosplayed as Panty. And so I was like, oh my gosh, this is great. And one of the things I love about the cons are it's very much it's an inclusive place where everyone's just there to enjoy what they love. Yeah. And it's so fun. It's awesome. So fun.
Like there's like I said, you can dress as anything and like people do groups and stuff, and I did we went to AWA last year and we did a group cosplay. It was a Game of Moans. Okay. So we're all like slutty versions of our characters. But I did my Little Jon Snow. So I was like, whatever. And this video, and then like this like a little like couple weeks ago, maybe a week or two ago, someone posted in the AWA group like, who's that dude that's playing Little Jon Snow? Is he coming next year? Well, I was like, oh yeah, that was me. Yes,
this past year, 2018 at Dragon Con, I ran into you. You were Loki. You were who else? You were Loki.
I did Loki. I did Little Jon Snow. I did Doctor Who.
I saw Doctor Who.
Yeah. And then I did. God, I can't remember. Let me think. I did Loki. I can't remember.
I'll say you did 4 or 5.
I think I did 4. I'm pretty sure I did 4. I remember. Okay, Doctor Who for sure was like DJ at the Doctor Who party, which
and
was
I didn't get to see you DJ. That's what it was. I remember you DJing, and I saw you, and I'm so angry that I didn't get to go.
That was backstory on that. My friend Christina, big Doctor Who, like, you know, cosplayer and like all things Doctor Who. She and My Little Pony. She contacted me. She's like, "Hey, would you like to DJ this, you know, this Doctor Who party ball?" And I was like, "Yeah, oh yes, I love," because I had DJ'd. I did the rave party one year. My friend Jason throws the big rave party in the big ball, so I got to do that one year. That was amazing.
Nice. That's awesome.
And then I got to DJ on a float for a joystick one year, and that was so much fun. So I was like, anything I can do. I actually got to DJ the Venture Brothers party one year.
Really?
Yeah,
what?
It was a lot of fun.
Oh my gosh.
So getting to DJ anything at Dragon Hunt is great. So Christina calls me up, got me in touch with Caro, who runs it. So she brings me in and she's like, "Can we talk on the phone about this?" Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "Cool." And it's like kind of like this kind of interview process. Because apparently, I guess the person that played the year before was like not good. And he played like a bunch of stuff that they didn't like, whatever. And so even when she posted on the group, like, "Hey, we're going to have this DJ play." And then people were like, "I don't know. I'll just play my Spotify." Like, people were like very like, "I don't know this." So I came into that gig nervous as hell. I was sweating.
Oh God!
I had my doctor. I had my 10th doctor shoot my outfit, and I was like sweating.
Yeah.
And I get up there, and I'm like, all right, cool. And I had spent like a month or so getting stuff together. Like, I play this, and they want to hear a lot of 80s, blah blah. I get up there and I start DJing. People are starting to filter in. I'm like, cool. And then my friends start coming. I'm like, cool. I feel better. My friends are out there.
Nice.
Whiskey helped a little bit. And then I looked up at one moment, and there's like, the room was full. I'm like, word. And then that's when it like, that kind of like broke the seal. I was like, word. And then I just started playing, and then like we started having fun. Like, yeah, the people that were organizing it with me, like Caro and all people, like, they started having fun. We're like, all right, cool. And then
nice.
After that, it was like done. Like,
that's awesome.
Because people were sending up requests on paper, and I was like, we'll go wherever. Like, we went from like Britney Spears' Toxic. I played like Britpop stuff. I played like 90s like dun 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 dun. Vankum Boys. I played that. Like, I just like, it was cool. I felt the crowd was so good because it was like, I was able to play my guilty pleasures, and people were like, "Oh, cause I love that Vankum Boys song." Yeah, and they're like, "Oh shit, blah blah blah." My friend Murphy was there, and he kept trying to leave, and I kept seeing him. I'm like, "I'm gonna play some Queen." Damn it! Stay, like, all right, I'm gonna stay. Like, it was so much fun. Like, looking out there and just seeing I was seeing some of my friends, like brothers out there, and everybody's out there, and like, there's nothing like it was. Yeah, I'm doing it then this year, and I'm just so excited.
Okay, sweet. I need to buy my tickets because Dragon Con is always the weekend of my birthday.
Yeah. Oh, word. So, when's your birthday?
September 2nd.
Oh, August 25th, dude. Yeah.
Oh, what?
Word. Yeah.
Brother.
So yeah, it's always like a birthday like thing for me too. So.
Yeah, it's so dope. Yeah. So it's I love it, and I need to go ahead and buy my tickets now, so that way. What are you cosplaying this year? If you can talk to us about it.
I'm doing Little Jon Snow again, and I'm hoping to reprise Loki.
Nice.
I'm hoping to have the staff this time.
Ooh.
And then there's a group of us that are I think they're doing it at MomoCon right now. I'm not getting to go to MomoCon this week.
Yeah, it is this weekend. I was gonna try and run by it, but I had a friend that was releasing a movie. She was in a movie that they were releasing, and it's like the release of the movie. And I was like, I actually have to text her because I did not text her.
Yeah,
but I'm super sad.
Last year was the first time I went like full on. Like, we got a hotel, and it was like I went with the pre-gamers guys, Travis and Shannon and Jameson and Angelina and with him, everybody, and Morgan and Deej and and Lauren and Miller and Grace. And I'm probably leaving somebody out. I'm gonna feel bad. Anyhow, hi guys. They're down there now. Oh, and Krista. Yeah.
Nice.
But again, yeah, it just didn't work out between like being a new father and then like just being busy and stuff like. But there'll be more. That's the whole thing. There'll be more moments.
Absolutely.
Like it's not like. And after that, there were no more nerd things. Like,
that's the end of it.
But
for all
they're doing a Final Fantasy football team cosplay. I think
really
this time. And I'm pretty sure they're doing it now. And I'm hoping that we can reprise it for Dragon Con because I have a character I want to do. Do you play any?
I haven't played any of the Final
Fantasies. There's a character in Final Fantasy 14, the MMO. His name is Robon. He's got braids. He's dark skinned dude with braids.
Nice.
And like I'm gonna have to like start working out, but I want to do that. So I'm hoping to get that done.
Nice.
I did Vincent Valentine last year too. I still have that costume. So
okay. I'm trying. I don't know what I'm doing yet. I have I cosplayed as Black Panther before the movie. I'll show you the mask after the podcast. Oh. I plastered the mask myself.
Nice.
Me and my friend Ben. He's actually coming into town today. He and I did Deadpool Army of Two. So we mixed up some of those. I've done Static Shock. That's my first Dragon Con.
I want to do Static Shock. Dude, that's awesome.
I had the jacket and everything.
Dude, that's
there. It's so dope. And also, there's a Static Shock short film that just got released recently.
Oh, word.
Yes, it's 40 minutes on YouTube.
Cool.
Dude, it's already been an hour.
I know. It's easy when you're
crazy
talking.
Yeah. If you had an audience, what's something you would like to tell people?
What I'd like to tell people? Oh,
yeah.
Man. So...
Or share with people. You know what I mean?
Well, I every time I get a chance to do a podcast or anything like that, or have a public voice, I love to big up my people who are doing stuff.
Yes.
So I think I am blessed by having a bunch of friends that are doing you were doing this.
Yes.
They do cool stuff. So like my buddy Kurt, I mentioned earlier, he runs a record label in Atlanta called Rotating Souls, and it's amazing. It's worldwide. The people in Japan are clamoring for his records.
Wow.
He has artists on his label from all over the world.
Nice.
So he's awesome. Again, the pre-gamers doing their CMVs and stuff, and just couldn't find a better group of people.
Yeah.
Sorry, getting emotional.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Couldn't find a better group of kids. Just doing cool stuff.
You have your own community, your handful of community that are going out and doing things.
Yeah, and then I don't know, there's people my friend Becca runs this thing called Dope Girls, which is an awesome zine about weed and and femme stuff, and it's just awesome. God, I'm sorry, I'm going to forget somebody now. Why didn't you talk about my thing? I just know so many people are doing awesome things. My buddy Ryan Visions is an amazing photographer, award winning. Atlanta, I feel like Atlanta just has so many people that do so many good things.
Yeah.
That you just gotta you gotta respect that.
Yeah.
I think in any city probably you have the people, but I think Atlanta has a soul my brother Jason's restaurant.
I didn't know the restaurant.
He's a manager at Bocalupo. They just got the top. He's number 7 in the top restaurants in Atlanta.
Whoa.
Yeah. So that's awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
But my whole thing, I'm just proud of my family. My brothers and I grew up around music, and so Jeff, my brother Jeff is he does audio engineering and stuff, and you can talk to either of them about music, and it's you're gonna get a good conversation.
Nice.
And you'll see people and they're we talk about hip hop, yeah, for sure, but we can talk about Fela Kuti, we can talk about Jeff. Jeff always comes from left field with some stuff he'll drop something in the chat and be oh, this. I'm what? You listen to that? He's yeah. I'm all right, cool. And Jason is yeah, we all talk about that and learn stuff, whatever. So, yeah. I feel I'm missing something an audience that I'm supposed to be and then check out this thing. I don't know. But in general, I just I don't know. I think that, stay nerdy out there.
Hell yeah.
It's a wonderful time for us.
Oh God, yeah.
So many good movies coming out and properties. And, people complain, oh, that last episode of Game of Thrones, whatever. But, you wouldn't even have that. You wouldn't even have anything like that. I'm not saying don't be critical,
but don't be a bitch about it.
Right.
Don't be a bitch about it.
Yeah.
Me and I have a friend, Matt. He and I just started recording a podcast for him, and that was our first episode where we talked about. Don't be a bitch about it. That's why my thing was don't be a bitch about it. Yeah. It was fan toxicity.
Yeah.
The toxicity of fandoms was his thing, but I was just just don't be a bitch about it.
Yeah.
Literally, don't be a bitch about it.
Yes, that is. We could talk for hours about that. That is. I did have my friend Ann interviewed me for the CNN piece, and they were talking about nerd culture, and I was at the time I was nerd culture is inclusive. It's being a black nerd. Yeah. And I was yeah, it's great, blah, blah, blah. And then I talked to Kurt later on, I was man, actually no, nerds can be assholes. Total racist,
you don't know this about this. Yeah. You should not even have any interest in this shit at all.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I find that's weird about being being a nerd and being a member of you're a member of a culture that was traditionally an outcast, and now we're hot. Yeah. Whatever. So, you will, and no matter what, you will get bad apples in any group of people, whatever. But, I feel if anything, you should be more inclined to be, respectful and because you used to be on the other end, so you should be more empathetic. You know, but then you still get, and again, you still get people who are racist, sexist, who are like misogynistic and like just whatever in there. So stay nerdy, but also don't be a dick.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So now, Adam,
my question for the next person?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's the question from our last guest for you.
All right.
And for those of you listening who don't know who that last guest is, you should probably go back and listen to the last episode. It's a really good conversation.
Yeah.
Are you ready for this question?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Name a moment in your life that resulted in a character switch, and what was that specific moment that happened for you? It's probably the same question. Okay. I'm reading it wrong.
I wouldn't ask the person, like, do you mean like just in the moment or like just?
No, so it's supposed to be like that changed you as a person.
A person. Oh man.
What's a moment that changed you and who you were?
Moment. Oh man.
If there's not a specific moment, the closest thing to it. Or event, situation.
I would really probably have to say, you know what? I was going to say college, but even in college, kind of like, yeah, I would say going to college, which is like kind of like a generic, everyone's like, oh, I went to college and, you know, whatever. But it really was a chance for me to reinvent myself from like the like timid, like, you know, person. I think that there was a combination of, it was a mix of like college and then moving here too. And like my brothers, and I tell them this all the time. They don't believe it, whatever. Like they really were the influence to me to start being like my social self. To start, you know, becoming, you know, making friends and like besides just like my like whatever, like
your handful type.
I was already doing that in college, but like they were really a big influence on me being like now people are like, oh man, we went to Austin. Me and my girlfriend went to Austin like last year or earlier this year, and just randomly like I knew somebody.
Oh, nice. I went to Louisiana and I saw somebody.
Yeah,
like from my church, and I was like, "What? Oh my god!" Yeah. I was like, "I don't even know you, but like I see you every once in a while, and I see you in L.A. or New Orleans. That's crazy."
Yeah, and I feel like I don't know. I just like that really turned a corner of me, just being like, I'm a social animal. I love it.
Oh,
you know, I have the max Facebook friends, which doesn't really an accurate representation because a lot of people are bullshit, like people, whatever. But like, not you specifically, number 3,502. I don't even know who you are. No, but like, you know,
there's no shade being thrown right now.
Yeah, it's like I enjoy just the you know. Just knowing people. Yeah, right. And the funny thing is like knowing people and then like having that chance to like really like, there's a moment in time when like there's someone, I've known this person for years, and then you sit down and talk to them, and there's stuff you don't even know about them, like and it's like, oh my god, like I had no idea. Yeah. Like so, it's like a catch-22. It's like it's good to know that many people, but then it's also good to like deep dive people. You know, like
I like to say I have the most of acquaintances, but out of those acquaintances I can pinpoint like this person seems like this would be a cool addition to my life. Yeah, let's kind of see what that is.
Yeah, that's a great skill to have.
All right, you have qualities that I appreciate. Let's kind of go into this and see, and then just go back and forth. And, but it's also being mindful of like, at some point, I do need to like stop and sit in my own fucking room by myself.
Yes,
I can do that for like 3 hours. Then I'm like, all right, what's next? Let's do something else. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to learn how to get that balance of like be with people all the time, and then also make sure you're alone. Yeah. And you can kind of like get yourself together.
Gotta be good with you. Nice. Yeah. Cool.
Adam, what is your question for our next guest?
My question for the next guest. Let's see.
It can literally be anything. It can be funny, serious, thought provoking.
Okay.
You just can't ask them.
How's
your day going?
Yeah.
Or the question that you asked.
The question that was asked. Let's see. I will ask. Let's see. My question will be, this is a question that I ask people. If you could travel back in time, like within your lifetime, to any point and then live from that moment on, what would it be?
Ooh, that's actually really good one. Oh my god.
I've got a couple of them.
That's
that time in 7th grade when that girl that I had a crush on was being held under the bleachers by this guy who was a bully. Like, But that mean, it's like it's like if you could, it's such a question. It's like mine. You're like, oh, like because like one,
would you want to go earlier?
Would you want to go earlier? And then it's like one is like, why would you go to that point? And then it's like, but would you do things the same?
Yes.
And why? Because
then
it's like, would you? So, it's
really
kind of it's a loaded question.
It's a loaded question because it really makes you think about yourself. Yeah. And it's a good thing that I don't ask you to answer your own questions. Yeah.
So the next person, fuck that guy. Why did he ask this question?
This is too much. That's like a whole 30 minutes right after that. So I'm gonna close out. Mm-hmm. Thank you for joining us today, Adam.
Thank you.
This has been amazing.
This is fun. I love doing podcasts. Like when I told you asked me, I was like, oh man, look, I can talk.
Absolutely. What I'll do is I'm gonna close out my stuff, and then you can link whatever you want to or plug anything else.
Yeah.
You've plugged a fuck ton of people, so that's awesome.
Okay.
And then plug yourself too at the end.
Cool.
So
all right.
You can find me on Instagram at Parkour Geek, and that's PARKOURG33K. You can also find me on YouTube at A Token's Take, ATOKEN''STAKE. You can find me on Facebook at Jeremiah Stephenson, but I'm not going to add you because I don't fucking know you. And Adam, plug yourself and take it away.
Thanks again, Adam Darby. You can find me on Facebook, Nerd Trivia at Brigantine. Look that up. That's my Nerd Trivia night that I do. You can find me on Instagram as nerd_trivia_ATL. And on Twitter as Nerd Trivia ATL. I think it's all one. Those are the Nerd Trivia things. On Instagram as black_sunshine_DJ. That's my DJ Instagram. And then you find me again at Joystick Game Bar. Oh my God. Joystick Game Bar every Friday, except for the third Friday, with my buddy Destin, who is DJ Silk Wolf. He's also one of the best DJs in Atlanta and an all-around like brother from another like great guy. Like,
yes,
he's the tits.
Nice.
He's awesome. So you can find me the Joystick there, and then second Saturdays of the month, 90s night at the Basement in East Atlanta. What I do with my buddy Patty Cakes. Also one of those amazing DJs. We've been doing this forever, and like,
go ahead.
Just DJing with there's an aspect that I didn't bring up, like DJing with someone, and doing it for a long time. It's like a relationship that like I don't think people think about it a lot, because like with like my buddy Brian, who I DJ with at MJQ, with Destin, with Pat, there's other people, my friend Angie. There's people that I can DJ with, and my friend Tara. It's like there's people that you can DJ with, and it's like there's people you DJ with, and it's like, all right, well, we'll see how this works. There's people you just like. Just having fun. Just play off of each other.
Just vibing.
It's great.
Nice.
Those are my nights. The 90s night, Joystick, Trivia, second and fourth Thursdays of the month. Usually, pay attention to the social media because sometimes it changes due to schedules and and then you can catch me at the Doctor Who ball at DragonCon
2019.
Oh, and I'm DJing next Saturday at the Atlanta United All Strikes, which is the LGBT. Did I say that right? LGBT. Yeah.
LGBTQ plus
fan club for Atlanta United.
This is coming out Friday night, so it's coming out like you hear this. It's coming out next Friday.
Word. Okay.
So it's happening tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. If you're listening to this on the 3rd of June, I think is next Friday.
We'll be at the Gulch. It's on a Saturday. I'll be there from 2 to 5, and this will be a big tailgate, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Just come out and support.
Nice. Nice.
Cool.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. This has been wonderful.
We're shaking hands.
We are shaking hands. And always,
have
a great day.
Cool.
Be love, be life, be.
Cool.